Fam, my peoples, my peoples. Shakur Stevenson is a multi-division champion, a unified champion, undefeated at 27 years old. Why is he so hated? That's the magic question. You know, I talk to a lot of people about Shakur, and first off, I don't really understand the hate. But Shakur haters say things like, well, he ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody, which is crazy. Obviously, Shakur has beaten multi reigning champions, numerous. Oscar Valdez, who was an undefeated reigning champion, and Jamel Herring, who was also a reigning champion. And he's beating multiple top level opponents. But his naysayers say that he didn't beat nobody. Well, then I asked him, okay then, Tank doesn't want to fight him. Why don't you ask Tank to fight him? Oh well, he's not a big enough star, and he don't sell pay-per-views, and he don't. So it's like the same people that say he ain't fight nobody give his opponents an excuse to not fight him, which that doesn't make sense. Unless, salute my G bendiciones. Ooh, the first one in the building. What's the deal, my brother? So yeah, man, we talking about Shakur Stevenson, and why is he so hated? Why do people, everything that you see in a hater, you see the way that people talk about Shakur. The number one thing that haters do is discredit opponents. If you look at any great fighter, what do their haters do? Discredit opponents. Like, how can somebody say that he ain't fought nobody? That's insane. He ain't fought nobody. That you're looking at his resume, and you're looking at the guys that he's fighting. Nobody. Then when you bring up, well, wait a minute, Oscar Valdez was an undefeated champion when Shakur made it look easy. Well, Oscar Valdez, he's not that good. He's trash. What are we talking about here? Another unified champion, another multi-division champion, he's trash just like that? Just because Shakur beat him? Just to discredit Shakur, you're going to discredit his opponents? That's crazy. Warlock Boxing, salute, my brother. You already know what it is, my G. Good to have you on. So y'all tell me, man, what's going on with Shakur Stevenson? Why people hate him so much? That's why Shakur reminds me so much of Floyd. R30, what's the deal, fams? That's why Shakur Stevenson remind me of Floyd Mayweather, y'all. Because the hate that he gets is identical to the hate that Floyd Mayweather used to get. Like, people have to discredit the opponents. And then just today I was asking somebody, okay, then who should Shakur fight? These guys don't want to fight him. Oh, well, he's not a big enough star to fight Tank. He don't put butts in seats. And I asked him, okay, was Frank Martin a big star? Was Pitbull Cruz a big star? They wasn't big stars when Tank. Matter of fact, most people didn't even know Lamar Roach, who just fought Tank. Lamar Roach isn't a big star. He's not doing pay-per-views. So why is it that Shakur need big pay-per-view numbers and he needs to be a superstar to fight Tank Davis? When none of the guys Tank Davis fights are big pay-per-view stars. So why do we set that bar only for Shakur Stevenson? That's crazy. So it's like, you want him, you say he don't fight nobody, but then when I say these are the people, these are the top guys, oh, they shouldn't fight him because he's not a big enough star. So what are you saying then? You're saying that you don't want him to fight the big boys so that you can continue to say that he doesn't fight anybody? I don't get it. R30, hating on Shakur because he don't knock out. That's, I guess so. People want to see rock'em sock'em robots and they want to see the knockouts. But why, if you don't like his style of boxing, or why, if you don't like, the way he goes about his business, why would you go as far as discrediting his opponents and start bringing up, like boxing fans really become fighters' managers. And promoters, nah, he shouldn't fight him because he not putting butts in seats and he not selling pay-per-views. Like, what are we talking about here? When did we boxing fans start being concerned with how much money people are gonna face for fighting each other? That's crazy to me. Warlock Boxing. I like Shakur from way back before people knew who he was because he's part Puerto Rican. I support my Boricuas. You know, I gotta tell you this, my brother. Shakur Stevenson, if we just do the eye test, he's a generational talent. Like, that's beyond obvious. How do you hate? Like, if you don't like his style of boxing, cool. You don't like it. That's okay. That's a matter of opinion. But to go to the point where you start discrediting him, discrediting his opponents, trash talking like he's not that dude. Come on, man. That's crazy. That's why Shakur Stevenson reminds me of Floyd Mayweather. Because they used to talk about Floyd just like that. People forget about it now because Floyd already retired. And now everybody jumped in the bandwagon. Nah, we already knew Floyd was great. Like, there aren't 5 million memes out there where people talking about Floyd was a runner and Floyd was boring to watch and you fell asleep watching Floyd. Come on, the receipts are there. Everything that people say about Shakur now is the same things that they were saying about Floyd Mayweather. Everything. The Mexican G, Shakur didn't even claim his Puerto Rican side until he fought Valdez. I think that's when, to be honest, a lot of people didn't know about his Puerto Rican side. And it's because obviously he was not raised by his father. He was raised by his moms. He was raised within the black community. So, you know, a lot of I didn't know myself, to be honest, that, about the Puerto Rican side. Warlock Boxing. The Mexican G. I knew since he was in the amateurs. There's people that knew. It just wasn't widely publicized, but there's people out there who knew. I personally didn't know until he fought Valdez, and they started talking about that. That's when I started calling him Shakur, the Puerto Rican Papi Stevenson. But again, we're talking about one of the. Think about this, my peoples, because I've had a lot of folks tell me, "Oh, don't ever compare him with Floyd. Don't ever compare." Think about this. Floyd Mayweather was the best defensive fighter of his era. Impossible to be hit. People just was not hitting him flush. Shakur Stevenson is the best defensive fighter of this era. Very hard to be hit. Rarely does he catch a hit flush to the face. Rarely. So there's a similarity between him and Floyd, right? The crazy footwork, the crazy ring IQ has it. Now, you have to talk about fans and how they view them. Right now, a lot of people don't remember. And if you're not old enough, you definitely didn't even see that happen. But a lot of people used to say, I don't like Floyd. Floyd Mayweather's boring to watch. He be running too much. He don't throw enough punches. He don't got power. He be pity-patting to win points. Literally everything that is said about Shakur was said about Floyd. And what happens? He retired as the greatest fighter of all time. Or if you don't see him as the greater, he's always going to be in that conversation. Like, there's no way that you could talk about the greatest boxers of all time and not bring up Floyd Mayweather. And he got the same criticism that we're seeing Shakur getting today. You got to see it. Ernesto Mena, Shakur, best freaking boxer right now. John Parham, like and share, my peoples. That's facts. Appreciate you, John Parham. Hit that like button. Share this content. Share this channel. Y'all already know what it is, man. Moe Olsen, my brother. What's the deal, my G? So, I'm just trying to figure out why is it that Shakur is so hated? To the point where, and I was making those comparisons between Shakur Stevenson and Floyd Mayweather, the defense, the way that fans say that he's boring, and they used to say Floyd was boring, the way that, he doesn't have the highest knockout ratio or is viewed as a knockout puncher. Neither was Floyd Mayweather. And then, when it comes to the fan, the hate is very similar. Why? Because I still remember, and even to this day, Floyd Mayweather haters try to discredit his opponents. Oh, he fought this guy when he was washed. Oh, he fought this guy when it was too late. Oh, he fought, that's like the classic hater move is to discredit a fighter's opponents. Like, how does Shakur Stevenson beat undefeated multi-division Oscar Valdez, and all of a sudden now people want to say Valdez is trash? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Maybe because I'm the type of person who I respect the fighters, and I understand that everybody doesn't have that respect. But to say a world champion, is trash just because you want to discredit Shakur, that's crazy, bro. That is insane to me. World champions? Nah, trash. Come on, man. We have to, as boxing fans, and you know what? We're also responsible for some fights not being made. Because when you discredit fighters, when they lose, other fighters see that and they say, damn, yo, I got to protect my L because they're going to discredit me. Valdez is a tough but a C-class fighter. Come on, the Mexican G. Come on, the Mexican G. Let me tell you something. C-class fighters don't win titles. C-class fighters never make it to the top. And what shows that you're incorrect in your assessment is that Oscar Valdez became a champion, lost to Shakur Stevenson, and then became a champion again. Bro, C-class fighters are not two-time champions. That just doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen, bro. John Parham, I give him a strong B. That's reasonable. That's reasonable to give him a strong B. But a C-class fighter? Bro, C-class fighters do not win titles. And then it takes another level of fighter to win a title, lose it, and win a title again. Nah, C-class fighters don't accomplish that, bro. Stop. C-class fighters, listen, C-class fighters are the guys who never win a title and who get rocked every time they get a shot. Every time they get a shot, they get beat up. Those are the C-class fighters. But guys who win titles multiple times, two-time champions, come on, bro. That's crazy to say something like that. That's even disrespectful. Come on. On Lace, John Moore of Violence. Yoda, how are you making up the grades for these fighters? I want to know. John Parham, how old is everyone in the chat? John Parham is 45. I'm 46. So, we're around the same age. We watch Floyd Mayweather. We watch a lot of the fighters from the 90s doing their thing. The Mexican G, Valdez built his resume fighting Respado vendors in Mexico. Oh, man. Now you're talking about how he built his resume. We're talking about that he's a legit two-time champion. And you want to talk about build his resume. Do we really want to get into that, the Mexican G? We could talk about a bunch of fighters who build their resume, the first 15, 20 wins in their career, and you can see who they were fighting. Look at Tank Davis's first 15 opponents and get back to me. Come on now. Stop. Hey, Boogie, 616. People don't even give Shakur credit for his Olympic accomplishment. Who knows if some pros could make it as far as Shakur did? And that's the one thing that when you see a fighter win an Olympic medal, Shakur got the silver, you know that there's already amateur pedigree. You already know about the pedigree. Most of the great, I'm not even going to say most because I don't have a number, but a lot of the great fighters all time, they went to the Olympics and brought back a medal. Floyd Mayweather, go all the way back to Muhammad Ali, Evander Holyfield, gold medalist. George Foreman, gold medalist. Oscar De La Hoya, gold medalist. Sugar Ray Leonard, gold medalist. Marvin Hagler, gold medalist. Smoking Joe Frazier, gold medalist. I'm not sure about Marvin Hagler, Smoking Joe Frazier. So we're talking about all these fighters who have that amateur pedigree, who went to the Olympics, who brought back a medal. You saw the type of careers that they have. And Shakur Stevenson is on that same trajectory. Went to the Olympics, brought back a silver medalist. At 27 years old, multi-division champion, unified champion. He got the pedigree already, following through just like the all-time greats. And people just don't like him. That's crazy. That's insane to me. Yoda, I'm old enough to remember when Stretch and Bobbito had the radio show. Ooh, DJ Stretch and Bobbito. Ooh. I love that show, by the way. I was young. I was like 9, 10 years old, but I got put onto DJ Stretch and Bobbito. Hell yeah. John Parent, strange people not telling their age. Probably explains it all. Yeah. We might have some young guns out here that started watching boxing like 3 weeks ago. The Mexican G. No mames, way about this. Only got hype for sleeping Miguel Berchelt, a flat-footed brawler with no defense. The Mexican G, I'm asking you straight up. How old are you, my brother? Put your age in there and don't lie. Put your age up in there and don't lie. But listen, all I have to say, my peoples, is when you look at the great fighters, by the time that they were 27 years old, they check all the marks. Shakur checks all the marks. The Mexican G, I'm 23. Now I understand you. Now I understand you. You started watching boxing 3 days ago. So you have that new social media mentality fan base kind of deal going on. I understand you, young boy. I understand you now. Pedro Mota, good night. What's the deal, Pedro Mota? My G. Because I'm going to just tell you this, the Mexican G. I suggest that you look at what the fighters say about Oscar Valdez, what the trainers and coaches say about Oscar Valdez, and you're going to notice that none of them agree with you. None of them, nobody in boxing sees Valdez as a C-level fighter. Now, who agrees with you? Casual boxing fans who started watching boxing yesterday, and Shakur haters who need to discredit him in order to discredit Shakur. But nobody in the world of boxing is going to agree with you, young buck. It's just not going to happen. I've been a boxing fan for 7 years. Yeah, you started watching boxing yesterday. That's the other day. You talking to people that have been watching boxing for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. You started the other day, my brother. John Parent, I told my nephew to go back and watch old fights, etc. He 22. I'm telling you. You, the Mexican G, respectfully, but you're from the young fan base who you started watching boxing with social media and with, in Facebook and in YouTube and in. So you have that crazy perspective that a world champion, a two-time world champion. Oh yeah, he a C class, he a mid. That's only new boxing fans. That's why I asked you your age, because nobody who been watching boxing long enough is gonna agree with you. Nobody, bro. That's insane. John Parham, I'm 28 years in. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Anyone watching boxing for long enough understand that, C-level fighters don't make it to world titles. That's insane. On Lace, HBO days, I was watching HBO Boxing After Dark. I was insane. That was just crazy, man. That series, loved it. But let me tell y'all something. HBO, and Tuesday Night Fights, I was serious. But I'm going to tell y'all this. HBO went down for the same reason Showtime went down. In fact, Showtime should have learned from what happened to HBO. And they would still be doing boxing now. And I'll explain myself. What happened with HBO is that they started overpaying fighters to secure the big fights. They started overpaying a lot of fighters to secure those big cards. And eventually, they were paying a lot more money than they were bringing in. And they had no choice but to pull the plug on boxing because they were spending too much money. Remember, they had George Foreman up in there. They had Roy Jones Jr. up in there, the announcers. They had Larry Merchant. They had people that they were paying a lot of money, big contracts. And as you know, HBO is one of those, it's a network, it's a cable network that there's no commercials on there. So they don't get commercial money. They get money from subscriptions. And all these fighters were not bringing in the subscriptions to justify all the money that they were paying out. So eventually, they got ran into the ground by overpaying fighters. So what happened with Showtime? The same thing. Al Heyman finessed them into paying guys that were good fighters, but they weren't superstars. They thought that Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, all of these guys, they were going to bring in a bunch of subscriptions to Showtime. And that just didn't happen. So they started overpaying these guys, giving out guaranteed money, and they just didn't generate the subscription that Showtime expected. Before you know it, when they checked the numbers, they was losing money. So while the PBC fan base was celebrating, oh, these guys make the most money, they're putting butts in seats and they're getting millions. And even the fighters, I remember there was a time where Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, they wouldn't shut up about how they getting the most money and they getting the most paid, and Al Heyman taking care of them. Well, y'all was running Showtime into the ground and y'all didn't even know it. Showtime got ran into the ground because they overpaid fighters just like HBO. That's the reason why you see that when Al Heyman went to Amazon Prime didn't give him no money up front. They gave him a distribution deal. A lot of people don't realize a distribution deal means you're gonna host your fights on our platform and we're gonna get a cut. We're not gonna give you upfront money. That's why if you go on Amazon Prime, you don't see them promoting PBC. You don't see them promoting PBC fighters. No type of promotion from Amazon because they're just a distribution deal. So Amazon was smart. They didn't give up no upfront money. Unless, John, you seen Yellow Beezy? That's crazy. And Yellow Beezy, that was Errol Spence's buddy. Yellow Beezy was Errol Spence's boy. Doing videos, dancing with him and all that, hanging out. That was his man's in him. And look now. Yellow Beezy is cooked. Cooked. Because they already talked about the evidence that they got. Look. Let me put it to you like this. The guy who committed the murder, he already got caught. And he got sentenced to like 100 months in jail. Like what, 9 years in prison? And guess what? That's a short sentence. For murder, where you chase somebody in the highway, chased them and bam, popped them, just got 9 years. Guess what? My man's already testified against Yellow Beezy, gave all the information, already say, yo, it's in the indictment. This dude paid me to go murder that man. So Yellow Beezy is cooked. Cooked. That's it, he done. Done. Unless Chavez is good, I just don't like his out of the ring tactics. Chavez, which Chavez you talking about? John Parham, unless you peep donkey, Kong Air Max. Champ, his only decent win was an all-war torn Oscar Valdez. I mean, I don't know how you figure that's a decent win. Valdez was an undefeated champion. So Jamel Herring wasn't a good win either. De Los Santos wasn't a good win. You didn't think that was a good win? I mean, come on, my brother. Like, we call it decent. Champion arguably lost against De Los Santos in a pathetic performance. You see, a Shakur Stevenson hater because you're saying arguably lost. No, he won that fight. You see, you don't make it about wins and losses. You got to discredit and you got to hate. Did Tank Davis look spectacular when Lamar Roach whooped his ass? Did Tank Davis? I bet you didn't have that energy with Tank Davis. Are you saying that Tank Davis arguably lost when he should have lost? Nope, because that energy is only for Shakur Stevenson. Let's keep it real. Go ahead, Champy. What you thought about Tank Davis getting his ass whooped by Lamar Roach and being gifted a draw when he should have lost? John Parham, he's fried. Yeah, he cooked. That man is not gonna see freedom. They charging him with capital murder. For capital murder, my peoples, they throwing the key away on your ass. The key, they gonna throw that shit away. John Parham, my peoples, get them likes up, be real talk. Hit that like button, man. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. You know this is the realest right here. Chappie, I thought Tank lost. Okay. Yoda, De Los Santos is ducked. Yo, a lot of people don't want to fight De Los Santos. It's looking like him and Frank Martin is going to mix it up next. But yo, Edwin De Los Santos is legit. Legit. That's real talk. Champy. But good boxing talk. Imagine hit the like. Yeah, no doubt, my peoples. Hit that like button, subscribe. Now, I gotta say this. And think about it. Right now, Shakur Stevenson is 27 years old. At 27 years old, he's a multi-division champion, a unified champion, and undefeated. At 27 years old. Not only that, Devin Haney ducked him. Blatantly ducked him. And Tank Davis has been ducking him. Blatantly. If Tank Davis wanted to, he could have forced Shakur Stevenson instead of Lamont Roach. Right now, Tank Davis and Shakur, neither one of them have an opponent. And Shakur says, I want to fight Tank. Can anybody tell me if they see Tank Davis expressing any interest in fighting Shakur? Is Edwin De Los Santos around your way in DR? Nah, he's from La Capital. So he's not from around my way. I have met his young brother. His young brother's an amateur boxer. Is nice. I think he's going to turn pro soon. Oliver. Padley works as an electrician 9 to 5 and still has Stevenson going for 9 rounds. Okay, so what's your point? Had him going for 9 rounds, got dropped 3 times and got stopped. What is your point? You see, your point is only to hate because dropped him 3 times, beat him by stoppage. What's your point? That he should have stopped him sooner? Come on now. Come on. Beat him. Beat him. That's the problem when you want to hate on somebody. Even when they win, you want to hate. Like, come on. The Mexican G. I think Shakur beat Edwin De Los Santos. He just wasn't as people expected him to be. He definitely outworked Edwin De Los Santos. I mean, come on. That's easy to see. But the thing is, when people hate on you, anything that is not pure domination, they're going to say you lost. It wasn't pure domination. He didn't beat him up. He lost. But that's hate. But that's where I'll be telling you that Shakur Stevenson, his career is playing out very similar to Floyd Mayweather's. Because Floyd Mayweather got the same exact hate that Shakur got. They said that Floyd was boring. They said that Floyd was a runner. They said that they fell asleep watching Floyd fighting. Now that Floyd is the greatest, they all jump in the bandwagon. Nah, I never said that about Floyd. Ooh, Floyd was the shit. What are you talking about? Like right now, there's not a million memes that you can find of Floyd Mayweather running, of Floyd Mayweather in a bicycle, of Floyd Mayweather in a tracksuit, of Floyd Mayweather's head in Forrest Gump body, in Forrest Gump's body running. The receipts are out there. That's how the same way people talk, the same way Shakur haters talk about Shakur, that's the same way Floyd haters talked about Floyd. Like every single tactic. The same way they discredit Shakur's opponents, they discredit Floyd's opponents. That's a sign of greatness. That's a sign of greatness right there. That's how you should see it. Yoda, what do you think is worse? Getting knocked out or getting beat for 9-12 rounds? I mean, losing is losing. And winning is winning. At the end of the day, winning is winning. So if you beat somebody, only your haters are going to find a way to discredit that win. You won. You beat them. Record is undefeated. So no matter how people try to hate, find little different angles to hate. Oh, he should have did this. He should have did that. He won. He whooped that ass. Like, it's pointless. It's pointless. Come on now. Oliver, yes, the point is he should have stopped him sooner. Look at that. He should have stopped him sooner. Yo, Oliver, when you say he should have stopped him sooner, right? I don't know you. I never met you, right? We don't know each other. This may be the first time that you join my life. By you saying that he should have stopped him sooner, I'm 100% sure you never boxed a day in your life. You got that social media boxing knowledge. You watch shit on TV, on YouTube, on Facebook, and now you decided that you're some type of expert. You're not gonna find no professional fighter, nobody in the game of boxing saying, "Yo, he should have stopped him sooner." That's the social media fans, which you're a part of. Do you think he's an all-time great or something? Bro, who the hell was an all-time great at 27 years old? What are you talking about? He's headed for all-time greatness, but nobody thought Floyd Mayweather was an all-time great when he was 27 years old. Nobody thought Muhammad Ali was an all-time great when he was 27 years old. Nobody's an all-time great at 27 years old. What are you talking about? That hate, bring it down a notch, bro. Nobody's an all-time great at 27 years old. What are you talking about? What kind of bar are you setting for Shakur? Do you think he's an all-time great? Nobody's an all-time great at 27 years old. You're building your record. But at 27 years old, he is a multi-division champion. He is a unified champion. Not a lot of 27-year-olds can say that. So as of right now, he's one of the best fighters, the best resume in their 20s. Regardless of your hate, he's one of the most accomplished 27 years old of this generation. Make of that what you will. That's the thing. When you want to hate on a fighter, you talk about details like, oh, he should have knocked him out. He should have did this. But the accomplishments, they're not about opinion. The accomplishments, they're not up to debate. They're there. How many 27 years old right now have accomplished winning titles in multiple divisions and also unified titles? There you have it. There you have it. Yoda, Shakur is the only person to stop Padley. I will point that out, but that's something that if you're a Shakur hater, you don't even understand that. A Boogie, I feel like Haney got skill. But he need the right trainer to get him to the dog he needs to be. You know, a lot of times I think that fighters, they want to stick with their father because there's that father and son, relationship, and there's also that loyalty. But I think there's often the case where sons should fire their father and hire somebody else. You see, Oscar De La Hoya did that. Oscar De La Hoya fired his own pops and started getting the best trainers in the world in his corner. You got to do that. You should do that. Teofimo Lopez is another one that should fire his pops. Pop Dukes be in the corner just yelling nonsense. For real. The Mexican G. Haney has a lot of potential, but he made a terrible mistake trying to walk Ryan Garcia down. Horrible game plan for someone that doesn't have power. I mean, I don't know what happened there. He spent the whole training camp talking about all Ryan got is a left hook, and then he got hit with that left hook all night. I don't know what the hell happened. Gabe Riverette, 3-division world champion. Yo, I don't know. I don't know how you win titles in that many divisions and unified titles, but you're okay. You're at 27 years old. I don't know. I don't know what it is. David Park, Abdullah Mason outboxes him if they ever meet up. I mean, that's a matter of opinion, but you got to remember, right now, Abdullah Mason is still in a process of development. If he was to meet Shakur now, he'll get cooked. Absolutely cooked. You got to understand that there's levels. And Abdullah Mason, in that development process that he's on right now, he's fighting real lower level competition that would be easy wins for Shakur and for anybody at that higher level. So Abdullah Mason, he is going to be he is a beast right now. He's an elite level talent, special fighter, but he's not ready for that type of competition just yet. Just know that. Know that. Unlaced. Yeah, Lopez Sr. is not a good trainer. Yeah, man, he be out there, fuck him up. Fuck him up. Like, what kind of instructions are those, man? Like, I'm trying to fuck him up, bro. Tell me how to do it. Cooling out HVAC. Adrian Broner won 4th belt at 26. Yo, Adrian Broner was a special talent. He just let the streets get to him. He just let the money get to him. If Adrian Broner, and I tell people, man, if Adrian Broner didn't start, drinking, zipping lean, smoking weed, sniffing coke, taking ecstasy, if he didn't do all that stuff, right now we will be talking about Adrian Broner as one of the best of his era. One of the best. But his personal life took over. He started acting crazy. As soon as he started seeing them big paychecks, it all went downhill. Yo, Adrian Broner's career really, we saw him go downhill after he lost to Maidana, but before that, he was already spiraling. When he beat Paulie, he was already starting to go downhill. But he was a special talent. He just couldn't keep it together. That's all that was. The Mexican G, Oscar De La Hoya, was trained by his dad. I never knew that for a while. And then he fired his own father. You could look that up. He was like, nah, yo, I need to get the real dudes up in here. Gabe Riveret, what do you think about Kambosos finally about to get a win after like 3 years? What a joke. I mean, I think Kambosos is a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. And you got to look at who beat him. Lost to Teofimo Lopez. Lost to Devin Haney. Lost to Lomachenko. He lost to pound-for-pound fighters. He lost to guys who are amongst the best of this era. So, I don't knock George Kambosos. He's losing to, that. You see, George Kambosos is somebody that I would say he's B-level. But this what what you have to understand, my people, is about B-level fighters. A B-level fighter will lose here, will lose there. But if they're on their A game, and you're an A fighter, and you're not on your A game, that's what happened to Teofimo. He beat him. On any given day, a B-level fighter will be an A-level fighter on any given day. If you're not on your A game, or if you showed up with a little injury, that B-level guy can beat the top guys. We've seen it a bunch of times. There's endless example of that happening. Unless AB name came up in that big Rico, he crazy. AB wilding out, man. AB wilding out. And you know what? AB, especially for the young people out there, he's an example of somebody who's scheming, who's making millions doing scams. Look, he was scamming NBA players, and you see him, wearing the chains and with the cars, and you think, oh my God, this guy's balling. And what you don't know is that he's just doing scams. And what happened when the scams fall through, when he can't do scams no more? He broke as hell. Broke. What's AB now? AB stands for about broke. That's why I tell people, man, even in my personal life, I tell people, yo, don't go with the scams. Because scams, they not forever. They fall through, and then you're going to be broke. Get that legal money, my peoples. Gabe Rivera, agree, B-level, but tell fights at the level of his opponents, his mind ain't right. Listen, Teofimo, I think that they underestimated Kambosos. They went in that fight thinking that they were going to blast them out of there in 3-4 rounds. And when that didn't happen, they fell behind on the cards. The same thing like Tank Davis with Lamar Roach. He went in there thinking he was going to blast them out of there. When that didn't happen, he was behind on the cards. He was playing catch-up. If you remember, when Teofimo dropped Kambosos, after that, Kambosos was on survival mode. Those last few rounds, Kambosos was just surviving. But he was able to win the fight because he was already way ahead on the cards. So he was able to win anyway, but he was surviving. If Teofimo would have boxed him from the beginning and broke him down slowly, he would have stopped him. He would have stopped him. But they had a horrible game plan. And it backfired. Look at this. Teofimo offered Kambosos a rematch at 140. And Kambosos didn't want to take it. He knew he was going to get his ass whooped. He knew it. That's why he didn't take it. R30. Shaking my head. Roach moves on to fight someone else. The Tank gets to escape out the back door on the rematch. To my understanding, they trying to make that rematch happen for June 21st. To my understanding. And I hope they make it happen. Gabe Riveret. Yeah, for a few rounds. Yo, Kambosos was surviving for those last few rounds. Surviving on survival mode. But that's it. He got way ahead on the cards. He could afford to do that. De Soto Hybrid 21. Shakur cooks Teo. He cooks all of them. He cooks Teo, Ryan, Rolly, Tank get cooked too. That's why he been ducking Shakur. They all get cooked. They know it. They know it. They know why they don't want to fight Shakur. Unless Teo never expected Kambosos to knock him down and mentally broke him down. I mean, I wouldn't say that it mentally broke him down because remember, after he got knocked down a few rounds later, he was able to knock Kambosos down and had Kambosos surviving. But it did catch him off guard. You know, they thought it was going to be an easy win. We're going to go over there and beat his ass. And that's not the way that it played out. But if Shakur would have had a real coach in his corner, after round number 1 and round number 2, they would have known, yo, you're not going to just get this guy out of here. Let's start boxing him. Let's start using the footwork. Let's start putting that jab out there. Let's start setting him up. They would have, they would have gave him actual instructions. His pops was just getting frustrated that they wasn't knocking Kambosos out. And he just kept telling him, go fuck him up. Fuck him up, bro. Fuck him up. Like, what kind of instructions are those? Nah. You wasn't telling him what he needed to do to win that fight. And it's like they were stuck thinking that they was going to knock him out. They kept banging with him and trying to knock him out. It took a while. Yo, I think Teofimo started boxing him like in round number 7. Round number 8. This whole fight, you getting beat up, trying to just blast him out of there. So now that was not. They had a horrible game plan, and when that game plan wasn't working, they didn't want to accept it. It's like you want to keep trying to knock a guy out when he putting all type of hands on you. They fucked up badly, but I think that was a learning experience from Teofimo. And after that, he became a lot more patient. He uses his jab a lot more. And he learned from that loss. I believe that he really did learn from that loss. The Mexican G, I think Teo versus Kambosos should have been a draw. I mean, it could have been a draw, but Kambosos got ahead on the cards, bro. And when somebody get ahead on the cards and then you struggling to catch up, that's what happens. That's how it played out. Because you got to remember, Teofimo was the champion. And you got to take it away from the champion. They feel like Kambosos took it away from him. That's how it played out. Unless, Smith, you think Ortiz beat Teo? Nah, I don't think so. I think he gave him a tough fight. Gave him tough competition. But I don't think he beat him. That's another thing that we have to be careful about, because when a fighter is a champion and a challenger gives him a good, tough fight, a lot of times people say, he beat him. He gave him a tough fight. He was competitive. I didn't see him beat him. In fact, if you remember, like after the 7th or 8th round, bro kept using his footwork and moving around a lot, moving around too much. Like he wasn't there to take it from Teofimo. He wasn't aggressive enough to actually take it from him. It looked to me like he wanted to be competitive as opposed to taking it to him. You see, Kambosos took it to him up until he got hurt. When he got hurt, then he started, doing even a little bit of running. But Ortiz, he wasn't there he didn't try to really take it from him. He was trying to be more competitive than anything else. At least that's how I saw it. The Mexican G, it definitely wasn't a unanimous decision. At the most, it was a split decision. Gabe Riverette. Ortiz gave a lot of good movement, but he didn't do enough. Man. It's almost like he was just happy to be there and happy to be competitive. And then he just started doing a lot of footwork, a lot of little punch here and there and moving around. Teofimo chasing him. Like, you cannot have the champion chasing you around and think that you're going to take it from him like that. Nah, you're not going to be able to do it like that. I felt like, like I said, he was competitive and he gave a good fight, but it's almost like that was good enough for him. Like, I'm competitive, I did good, let me not risk it and not get hurt. This is the type of fight we wanted to do, I'm happy. This dude lost to Teofimo and he was happy at the end. Even after they announced that he lost, he was happy. So to me, that shows that he was just happy to survive, go the distance, and be competitive and look good. That was good enough for him. But he wasn't trying to take it from the champ. Now, peoples, y'all already know, man. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's 18 of us and it's 13 likes. Y'all acting like I'm a C-level fighter. Like I'm the one out there getting knocked out or fighting bums. I'm not fighting bumps, my people. I'm not a C-level fighter. Y'all don't gotta do me dirty with the like button, B. Go like that, boop, hit that like. Stop playing with me. But my people, listen. My point and my main point is that all of the great fighters get the same type of hate. And what do I mean by that? You think about it. Floyd Mayweather, he got a lot of hate about his opponents. Oh, that they was washed up. Oh, that he didn't fight them at the right time. Oh, that he should have fought this person and he didn't fight this person. That's Floyd Mayweather. Yo, even Muhammad Ali got hate. Every great fighter, my people. What do? They try to discredit their opponents. Look at Terrence Crawford. Oh, he ain't beat nobody. This guy's beating world champions. A reigning champion. Undefeated champion. Multi-division. Undisputed in multi-division. And people still hate on him till this day. Till this day. Oh, he ain't fight nobody. So you got to understand when people see greatness and they don't like them, the hate starts immediately. And it's the same type of hate. That's why I'm telling you, my peoples, whether you see it now or you see it later, Shakur's headed for greatness. There is no getting around that. He's headed for greatness. Jay Stradamus is telling you right now. That's why I like to say it on here when I go live and when I post videos, because one day, these are going to be the receipts. One day, when Shakur's the face of boxing, these are going to be the receipts right here. A lot of people are going to be like, yeah, I knew that he was going to be the face, and I knew all that already. But did you say it? Or were you hating on Shakur? Because if you look at Floyd Mayweather, now that he's universally recognized as the greatest of all time, or one of the greatest of all time, everybody forgets what they used to say about Floyd back then. Those of us who are in our 40s, we remember the people that said that Floyd run too much and that he don't got no power and that he's boring to watch and that they fall asleep watching Floyd Mayweather. We remember that. The same things that they're saying about Shakur Stevenson. Come on now. Gabe Ribberat. Ortiz gave a lot of good movement, but he didn't do enough. That's facts. Gabe Ribberat, but it's a special talent. He reminds me of B-Hop because of the hate. Yo, the hate that Terrence Crawford get is crazy. You got to remember, bro, how many people were saying Errol Spence was going to knock him out. Errol Spence was too big. Errol Spence was too strong for Terrence Crawford. And then finally, when he put the beats on Errol and stopped him, all those people who said Errol was too big, oh, he had a car accident, oh, the eye, oh, he lost his homework, his dog ate his homework, oh, he was smoking weed. All the excuses in the world. They went from Errol Spence was going to beat him up straight into the excuses. That's crazy. That's crazy, my people. Gabe Ribberat, I won good money on that. I didn't bet money on that, but yo, in this same channel, you could go back and see it. That's why I love the receipts. I specifically posted multiple videos where I said Bud Crawford is going to stop Errol Spence in the 8th or the 9th round. I posted videos that are up right now on this channel. I try to tell people. That was going to happen. And in the comment section, if you look at the comment section, some people erase their comments. It's mad funny. Because a lot of people was telling me, yo, Errol's going to knock him out. Errol's too big. Errol's going to break him down to the body. Yo, after the fight, a bunch of people deleted their comments. They didn't even want nobody to know what they actually said before the fight. Moa Olsen, that wasn't even a fight, my brother. That was a masterpiece. Yo, that was a masterpiece. It was a slaughter. It was just a beating. Like, if you think about it, when is the last time that an undefeated unified champion took that type of a beating like Errol Spence did? It's hard to even remember. It's hard to even Think of when is the last time an undefeated champion with these accomplishments, because that's the thing about Errol. He wasn't a paper champion. Errol Spence beat 3 legitimate champions for those belts. No vacant title, no email title. He was a legit 3 belt unified champion, undefeated. And Buck Crawford absolutely pummeled him. And what happened after they, Bud put the beats on him like that? The excuses started raining down upon him. All of the excuses that came out from the same people who said, yo, nah, Errol's going to walk him down and bait him up. Those are the same people that are right now saying, yeah, Canelo's going to dog walk him. It's like, that's what happens when you're great. People want you to lose. They want to see you lose. And when you don't lose, they look for excuses. I've been saying that. I already had somebody tell me, yo, Canelo's going to beat him. Canelo's going to beat him up. And if Crawford wins, then he's on PED because you can't just do that. You can't do what he's trying to do. People already, if Crawford beats Canelo, people already got their excuses on deck. They already know the excuses that they're going to use. That's crazy. That's crazy. Gabe River, I thought Ugas was going to beat Spence. To be honest, I didn't think so. I didn't think Ugas even had a chance. Ugas is a good fighter, but I didn't think that he could beat Spence at all. I really didn't think so. To me, they were slick because if you remember, Errol wasn't able to fight Pac-Man because he had the eye surgery. So Ugas got that shot and he beat Pac-Man. And then that's why they said, okay, let's feed Ugas to Errol. That's how that came about. But I didn't think that Ugas could beat Errol Spence. Especially at that time where Errol Spence was undefeated, beating everybody, had momentum on his side. And we saw how it played out. He won that fight. And they got absolutely battered by Terrence Crawford. A Boogie 616. I would love to see Spence Crawford too, only if Errol was at 100%. To be honest, I don't think we'll ever see that fight. I don't know if Errol Spence will ever fight again, but honestly, I think that fight versus Terrence Crawford may have done some irreversible damage. If you think about it, how long ago was that fight? How long ago was that fight, bro? And you still haven't really seen Errol Spence talking like that. Errol Spence was a guy who was super active on social media. After that fight, he disappeared. First of all, he disappeared for months. For like 8 months, you didn't see Errol Spence. And you only saw little pictures of him. But have you really seen Errol Spence in a conversation, giving an interview, talking freely after that fight? Nah. So I think that fight, taking that type of beating, did some nasty damage to Errol Spence. And if I'm right about that, he should never fight again. Stay off. Hopefully, he made I know he made a lot of money with that Terrence Crawford fight. He made a lot of money fighting the guys that he fought. Hopefully, he been smart about his money, some good investments, to keep that generational wealth going. And hopefully he don't have to fight for money again. I would hate to find out that at some point Errol Spence go broke or his money's too low, so he got to take a fight just to make some money. I would hate to see that happen. Because that beating that he took, I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of fighters take a beating like that and never be the same again. And I don't want to see Errol Spence be punch drunk to where he can't even put a conversation together without sounding like he don't know what he's talking about. Confused, bewildered, stuttering and shit like that. But think about it. Have you seen Errol Spence, really, after what happened to him with Terrence Crawford? We haven't. They've been keeping that man away from the cameras. And look, he was supposed to fight Crawford in that rematch. The rematch never happened because it was supposed to be a 147. According to them, they didn't want to fight at 147. Then he was supposed to fight, right now, he was supposed to fight Fundora at 154. That fight never happened. And it was Errol who pulled out of that fight. So, I don't know if Errol Spence is in condition to fight, to be honest. Smith, you going live for the Fundora fight tomorrow? Oh, of course, my brother. I'm definitely going live. Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow, Friday? Confirm that for me, my peoples. Confirm that. I can't confirm it right now because my other phone is using the flashlight. But check it out. Google that shit to see if it's tomorrow. Because if it is tomorrow, I'm definitely going live. I don't know why I thought it was going to be on Saturday. Moet Olsen. Spence made a career changing right after right. Change right after the fight. Fighters don't come back from a beating like that. Yo, I don't know, man. I honestly, I don't think he's gonna be able to come back. Like based on what I've seen, Errol Spence disappearing from the scene, staying away from the cameras, not really giving any interviews. You don't see him talking anywhere. Hasn't fought since that beating. To me, that looks like retirement all the way through. Unless, sorry, it's Saturday. Oh, okay. You had me shook. You had me like, oh shit, it's tomorrow. Goddamn. I was thinking today is Friday. Got it. I'm gonna be going live for that. And my people, listen. So far, most of you have never seen me calling a fight. I'm gonna be live. Trust me, you want to see me calling it. This is something different that you ain't never seen before, my people. So y'all want to see me calling these fights. I'm going to be calling the Sky Nicholson Tierra Brown fight. That's a fight that I've been waiting for. It's not getting a lot of attention. Women boxing don't get the love that sometimes they do deserve. So I want to give them that love. And I'm going to go live for that fight. I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen at the same time Fundora versus... Who Fundora fighting again? I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen at the same time as that fight. Simply because Fundora's on the main event. So I'm going to go live for both of those fights. Yo, y'all need to come check in with me and see what this live is all about. My peoples, I'm about to get out of here. But before I get out of here, yo, I just need 2 more likes to get to 20, man. Help me get to 20 likes, man. Don't treat me like I'm a C-level fighter fighting bums out here. Gabe Riveret. Fundora versus Ortiz is a fight to look out for. But 154 weight class. Shaking right now. I agree. I like that fight. I really like that fight. I think there should be a rematch between Fundora and Tim Tszyu. I think they should do that rematch. Because you got to remember, Tim Tszyu, if you watch that fight, Tim Tszyu was putting hands on Fundora before he got that big gash in his head. And then after that, that's when it started to go downhill. But you see the type of warrior Tim Tszyu is. Then his last fight he lost versus Bakram. He went in there, with a bad game plan, thinking he's going to knock this guy out, blow him out of the water, and got beat. But for those who think that Tim Tszyu is a hype job or that he's overrated, I still believe in Tim Tszyu, my peoples. And I promise you, Timmy is going to become a champion again. I could promise you that. Damn, my peoples, y'all didn't even get me to those 20 likes. I'm about to get out of here. As always, before I do, I want to give everybody a shout out. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Appreciate everybody who showed love. And by the way, y'all already see it. Box Center got to 1,000 subscribers. Next stop, 2,000 subscribers. And we headed for the 1,000,000, my peoples. I promise you. This right here is going to be the #1 boxing live, period, point blank. There's no getting around it. So y'all see it, my peoples. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate the support. This is Jay Smith. This is Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Come check me out. We're going to talk boxing, my peoples. One love. Peace. Bam. We out of here.